And we're back with a new Zoom.
All right.
After, well, how long were we gone? 2
I don't know.
months?
A while.
Anyway, tonight we're joined by the super talented TikTok creator, photographer, Etsy shop owner, Ashley Drake from Halifax, correct?
Yeah, well, I'm actually from Cape Breton. I'm from New Waterford.
Oh, wow.
I just live in Halifax now. So I'm a Caper too.
Nice.
Cool.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's even better.
Well, if you would have told us you were a mainlander, we would have just ended it.
I know, yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. Doug, you start,
So,
buddy, and we'll get rolling.
yeah, I guess I could start it up. So I only have about 30 really hard questions for you to answer, so don't worry.
Oh, God. I don't know if I have that many answers.
I'm just kidding. So when did you get into the paranormal? Like, how old were you? How did it start?
I feel like everybody who's into this stuff had the same childhood, like we grew up like when horror movies were still, decent and original, and there was Goosebumps, and we had the Goosebumps books and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Just everything with that combined kind of like led me on this road that I'm on now. I don't think I thought it would take me like where I am today, but that's definitely where I started.
Okay. Even the ghost shows like Most Haunted kind of started it all off back then, right? Like I find those shows were way better back then.
What about Unsolved Mysteries?
Any of them. Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries and like the X-Files. I don't really watch any of like the paranormal shows now. I find them, corny kind of.
You're not wrong.
Fake, like, they have to put stuff in there to make it a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't watch those as much, but definitely, Unsolved Mysteries and stuff like that when I was younger.
Awesome.
What was that one called? It used to be on Much Music. You remember that haunted one? They used to they went all around the world in different places like that. You remember that one?
Yeah.
On Much Music.
I remember what it was called. I think it was Much Music
Yeah. When I was younger, Much Music had I think it was Much Music anyway, had like a whole night, like close to Halloween, where they had like all Goosebumps like episodes and Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think it was called like Fright Night or Scare Night or something like that. That was like the best night like the whole year.
I grew up in the country. We only had 3 channels. And that was not one of them.
Yeah, with the static, and if you put on channel 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Watch the French channel.
Yeah.
But,
so as a photographer, I guess your interest in the paranormal led you into the way you take your photos and stuff. But what camera system do you shoot with? I need to know. Because I'm.
Oh my gosh! I just got a new one. You know what? I got a new one, and it's a Canon EOS something. Canon. I'm trying to see it here. I just got a new one. I had just a Canon Rebel, and I upgraded one from the Rebel, but I haven't been taking pictures because of COVID. So I can't even tell you what that. But anyway, it's still a Canon. I'm totally a Canon girl. But yeah, I actually got my first camera when I had my kids, my daughter, and I was expecting to take, like pictures of her and family pictures. And then I realized that children don't really want their pictures taken, especially by their mother. So I had this camera. So then I just kind of combined my love for like the dark side of everything and combined that into the photography. So I don't take your pictures at all now.
Your pictures are wicked.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love them.
They're not for everyone, but the people that they are for really love them. So that's what matters.
So where do you get your ideas from? Like the one with the 3 dresses. Do you go and buy all your own props, or do you had the stuff hanging around, or you borrow from people, or?
Yeah, I buy all my own props. I do a lot of antique shopping. So every time I see an antique dress, I hit like the thrift stores, yard sales. So I kind of just stop for any of that stuff. And then I have so many dresses right now. And the thing is that everybody was so tiny back when these antique dresses are from that I can barely find anyone to fit in them because they're so small.
Mm-hmm.
But so I just keep compiling them because they're so beautiful. But I just had that vision in my head, and I had a friend with me for a photo shoot, and her boyfriend was there, so I had like extra hands to put them up, and I could like step back and look to see like where I could get them. It was just perfect, and the lighting was so good. Yeah, that's one of my favorite photos I've ever taken.
Awesome.
It's funny you mentioned them being so small, the old antique dresses and stuff. I remember one time we were at the Fortress, and I asked Kyle, Alan, how come the beds are so small in the governor's apartments? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, look how tiny they are. They're like these little mini beds. And he said, well, back then a tall person was 5'7".
Yeah.
So you did,
Yeah.
it's hard to believe, right? Now you see these guys that are like well over 6 feet and stuff like, but back then 5'7" was tall.
Yeah. And
That was
everyone
pretty
was so
cool.
tiny. Like there wasn't people that were overweight, you know, we're now overweight's almost
Yeah.
like the norm. Yeah. Things have just changed so much in 100 years.
Mhm.
It's pretty,
Oh,
yeah.
So your TikTok, did you think
Yeah.
it was going to blow up like that? Like your TikTok is amazing.
It blew up so fast. Like I only started doing that in March and I'm at like, I think 70,000 followers now.
It's like 71 or something. I think I was there
Yeah.
around 36.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
fast it went.
It went so fast and it was the Titanic graveyards that did that. So
Mhm.
I love going and visiting graveyards and I wanted to do one on that. And I knew that the Titanic was a big thing for people, but I didn't necessarily know that the Titanic graveyard was going to be a big thing for people. So that did surprise me. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy doing, you must enjoy doing the TikToks because you put an awful lot of work into them. Like it's like, how long does it take you to plan out a TikTok?
It can be so quick. It can be like 20 minutes. And then there's other ones like I'm still working on, I'm trying to do one now on Jon Snow, who was the kind of like the funeral guy or the embalmer, you know, like the mortuary guy for the Titanic victims. So he was in Halifax. He actually went out on the boat to collect the bodies. He was the one that decided, you know, who gets buried at sea and who comes back to Halifax. Like he was the main guy. And I've been working on his for months. But then there's other ones, you know, like that I could just do in like 20 minutes that I just think of off the top of my head. So it totally varies. Yeah. Yeah. But
So-
I find it's been so good with COVID for my mental health. Like I'm spending all my free time reading articles and like searching online for different things. Like it's totally my focus, you know, aside from like my regular job and like my kids, when I have free time, I'm just researching and just finding so many cool things.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I love watching it. Every time I go on,
Yeah.
you post so many, like every time I go on TikTok, I'll see one of yours and I'll watch it. And then I'll scroll through a few more, there's another. And I'll scroll through a few more, there's another.
What I'm finding is like the deeper I dig, the more things I'm finding. And like one thing will lead me to the next thing. And you know, it's just like a cycle. Yeah.
No, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like I have a TikTok page, but mine was just goofy. I just kind of went on there. Didn't think I was gonna get too many followers. Now I got like 1,200 and I'm like, maybe I should start doing some stuff.
That's what mine,
You know, like
because mine was like that at first. I had just like really like embarrassing like makeup tutorials and stuff. And then out of nowhere, I was like, I should make one about the Titanic graveyard. So then I had to actually go back and like delete videos because I was like, I don't want people to see me do this. Like, you know, it's embarrassing. That was just for
oh,
25 people.
I got a few of those.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, you
So-
should make.
Yeah, I want to. Like me and Jason were talking about starting like a TikTok channel just for our group kind of thing, right?
You
And trying to
should.
upload our EVPs to it and see if we can
Yeah,
get people to watch the
TikTok is
EVPs
where-
that way.
Yeah, TikTok
I
is
think
really popular right now.
It's the new platform. I really
Yeah,
think
and I
like
I put so much into my Instagram over like, I don't know, 5 years, and that didn't really take off and didn't really grow. It's just so competitive for photographers, right? Instagram is.
yeah.
And TikTok, there was things that I wanted to put on Instagram that I couldn't convey in just one picture. But to take a 60-second or a 3-minute video, I can put so much into that. And I've actually gone
Mhm.
back to places that I photographed to do a TikTok about it with the history. Yeah.
Well, Jason will tell you, we've been waiting forever just to crack 100,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And how many
Yeah, well,
videos do we have up there now, Jason? Like, I don't know how many videos we have. What, 1,000?
I'll check.
Yeah.
It's
I
got
might
to.
help
Well, maybe
I watched all of your videos from the. I was like, what am I gonna ask? I was so
I
scared.
mean,
I was doing my work.
maybe it's-
Everybody had
She got scared by the St. Pat's one that I reposted the other day. I think that one's
yeah, about the dog. You were outside with your dog.
Yeah, that was
But
really.
yeah, we've been waiting forever to hit 100,000 views.
Yeah.
And then I got buttons made of Dr. Strang talking about don't buy sandals during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I made them. So I made a TikTok about them. It was just a clip of him talking about it. And then I showed the buttons, 25,000 views. It was insane. It's a 13 or 14 second clip, 25,000 views.
Yeah,
That's
it's really,
crazy.
you guys would do great with your EVPs on there. I particularly am scared of EVPs, but I know people love them, and that would be a great platform for them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I find TikTok pretty funny too, because there was one time I went with the pressure washer, just ran it up and down the step and took the dirt off. 5,000 views.
Have you guys seen,
It's nuts.
have you seen the people that do the grave cleaning?
Yes.
They have like
Yes.
millions of followers. People love
Yep.
watching it. Same kind
That's
of
cool.
thing. Like it's like satisfactory to watch, something go from dirty to clean, like they're pressure washing. Like, yeah. Yeah, the grave ones are really cool.
We have 281 videos, Doug.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's it.
Sorry, I thought it was 1,000.
600.
Well, I didn't finish the
subscribers.
review yet for Lewisburg, so maybe there'll be 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to come to Cape Breton. Like, I usually take a trip there every now and then. I'd love to go with you guys and make some TikToks about it, and then
Yeah.
that'd be a great split for you
Let's-
guys.
Oh,
to,
you
like,
definitely
We
have
should-
to.
We should do Black Brook, Ashley. We should go to Black out there.
So, and like that's how I was saying my Instagram kind of leads into my TikTok. I actually went to Black Brook. I was just driving around looking for abandoned houses to take pictures of. There is like an abandoned barn close by there. We were taking pictures of that. And then we saw Black Brook Cemetery, and I had never heard about it before. And I went in there, like the big tree with like the nest. I think it's like an eagle's nest or something. I was taking pictures
Yep.
of that. But I didn't know any of the history about it. I didn't know, like, I'm obsessed with this possible witch that's there. I every time someone posts about that, I'm like, oh my God, I need to be a part of that. Yeah.
Did
Like,
you
I
hear
am
that?
like to wear
Did you
like
hear that? Sorry.
and spend a whole day like foraging for that.
Oh yeah.
We've
Yeah.
been working on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wait now, Doug, speaking of that, someone on our YouTube channel commented, did they not, that they know where it is?
Yeah, they said it's
It's in
10
the
minutes in
woods.
the woods or something like that, but
Yeah.
they don't say in which direction. If you go to the left or the right, there's woods.
Yeah, I
And to
replied,
the
replied to her, but she never replied back. Ashley, did you hear our EVP about the witch?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Doug is
Yeah.
down the creek. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So-
I
That
know
was
I
pretty
was
cool.
reading a little bit, like it's thought that she might be in a different graveyard nearby. But I don't know that you would have got that EVP there. I don't know, unless it was just
Yeah.
playing tricks on you. Like, you don't know, right? But
if you
Yeah.
come to Cape Breton though, you need to do a TikTok on the captain's wife,
the-
because
oh,
everybody thinks the captain's wife is the witch, and it's
I know.
not the witch. There's a full write-up online about her
I
and
know,
how she ended up there.
Yeah.
The whole thing, but everybody says,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's the stump. It's the white stump in the ground with the stuff on it." It's
Yeah.
not. That's the captain's wife.
Yeah. Yeah. She wouldn't be, if it was the witch, she wouldn't be the captain's wife, and she wouldn't be buried in such a prominent spot. It
No.
would
Nope.
be
Absolutely not.
more like what you guys are looking for, like a hidden one. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have a friend who swears he saw the witch's grave, which he said is a stump, not like a grave. It's like a natural
Yeah.
stump. And he said there was all kinds of like pagan carvings in the trees around it. That
Yeah.
could have been a bunch of kids just did it for, shits and giggles. But
Yeah. But I mean, isn't that
It's
part of
something.
the fun? It's like searching for these things until you
Oh,
find
yeah.
the answer, and like, and if you don't find it, then you spend all this time like searching, and it doesn't make it any like worse. It's you had fun searching, and it's a mystery. I love that part of all of this.
researching
Yep.
is awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we've been looking for this witch for like since 2014. I'm tired of looking for her.
Dude,
Yeah.
I,
I want
I,
to find
start,
her.
I started in 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
First one out
you'd have
there.
to think too, it would be grown over quite a bit now too, so it could be underbrush.
Well, this person claims wherever it is in the woods for 10 minutes, she said there's a tombstone in the woods all by itself. So it kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Catherine's grave.
I was just gonna
Catherine's grave is
say,
in the woods all by itself,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Right? So, like who knows,
Yeah.
right?
She never replied back to me.
apparently Catherine's grave, there's a graveyard down the road from that, which
There's
I
one right
didn't
beside
know.
it. There's a graveyard
Yeah.
beside it, and there's one across the road as well. There's three right in.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I went to Catherine's grave, but I didn't know that there was the rest of the graveyard there,
Yeah.
which makes
Even
more
if you-
sense having hers there, but it still doesn't really make sense why it's there by itself. But,
Yeah. Even if you go to Blackbrook, if you drive in and you go to the left in the very corner, there's a guy all by himself. And his body must lay under the road that you drive around, because it's right on the edge of the road. It's a very
probably
weird
wasn't a
spot
road.
for
yeah,
I don't
there
know.
probably wasn't a road at that time.
So up in Halifax, what's your favorite spot? for ghosts or paranormal or?
I've been to the Titanic graveyard quite a bit. I wouldn't consider that to be paranormal. You know, that's more history.
Could be though.
I
We
did.
haven't researched it yet.
Yeah, we've been there.
We
Yeah,
haven't investigated yet.
yeah. I know that people have, but I don't know what results they got from that.
I've never heard much about it.
Paranormal, I get super creeped out there. I think I told Doug about this. There's one bunker specifically at York Redoubt that I don't really, you know, I'm not sensitive to things. I don't really feel things. There's one that I've been in twice. It's the same one. And both times, like the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I don't know what it is. I know that it's cooler because it's in there, but like you can feel a temperature change and it's just like bad vibes all around.
Thanks.
So I would like to take some ghost hunting equipment there just to see what is in there. Yeah.
I always wanted to do a full investigation of the old burial ground, or burying ground, I should say. Like I was there once. We were there the day before Halloween, but I was up for my daughter. She had to go to the IWK, and I said, you know, I'm going to walk down just to take a look at the place. That place is amazing. I could have spent the whole day in there. I love it in there.
I've gone to Salem like 3 times to see, like New England has like the most amazing graveyards. Cool. And I find the old burial ground is comparable, you know, the same symbolism and the same architecture of the graves is the same ones that you'd see in the States there.
Awesome.
And I told him that there was a guy there that does tours, and he said actually these stones would have been made in New England and sent here.
Wow.
So it's
Cool.
yeah, that's a beautiful graveyard. And also it's just like so creepy. There's like what 12,000 people buried under it, and like 1,200 or 2,000 headstones, right? Yeah.
No, I've been there. I've been to Citadel Hill just to tour it, not to do any kind of investigation.
I did the nighttime ghost tour there. It was pretty good, but it was, you know, it was it was very tourish. If we can, say, you know, it wasn't. You didn't have a chance to like peek around by yourself.
Yeah. Well, see, when we do Luthford, we do our events. It's like they'll start off doing a couple little things, and then what we do is we break up into teams, and you'll be able to use all the gear. You know, cameras, whatever you want. And then if you want to spend 10 minutes in the bakery or an hour in the bakery by yourself, by all means, as long as you film it and send me the footage, you can do whatever you want, right? Like we don't do it. It's not very toury with us. It's more hands-on. Like you're going to have the full experience of doing it.
When we did the tunnels at George's Island, the guy kept having to wait for me because I was trying to like film it with nobody in there and trying to get a feel for it and stuff. And he kept having to come back, and my mom was like, "He's waiting for you!" Like every single time we went around a corner, he would have.
How was that place?
I'm dying to go there.
It was amazing. It was just amazing to be there because last, I think August was the first time that it was open to the public. So you're kind of somewhere that, you know, a lot of people haven't been, and it's even my parents, like they're from Cape Breton, but they lived here for a while. They're in their 60s and like they had never been there, so they came with me, and it was like amazing to see, and just amazing to think about how they built, you know, like the fort there, you know, back however, you know, 300 years ago.
And there's so many different forts there.
Like it's just crazy, right? Yeah.
So much history.
Definitely on my bucket list.
Oh, me too. I want to go this summer.
Yeah, it's really. I'm dying to go to McNabb's Island. Yeah, McNabb's Island is my big one on my list.
That's on the list too. Yeah.
Is that the one? What's the one in Eastern Pastures? They call it Devil's Island.
Devil's Island. That's also on my list. I have a big list, and all the islands are on there. And then there's Danbro Island too.
I stayed with a friend of mine in Eastern Passage, and she showed it to me. She said, over there, it says, she said, you'll love this. That's called Devil's Island. And I said, oh, cool. So I woke up the next morning and looked outside. It was sunny everywhere except for over Devil's Island. There was this ring of fog right around the whole thing. And I said, oh my God, imagine being on that now.
Yeah, I think the lighthouse is still there. I think a lot of the buildings were gone, but I mean, people used to live there. They used to live on the island. There was a school and, you know, different buildings. Like it's,
It was a whole community.
Much left, but yeah,
I read a whole book about all those islands, and now I'm obsessed. I just want to go.
I'm obsessed too. Yeah, McNabb's Island is I think it would be easier to go to McNabb Island. It would be easier to get a boat there, and it's just other people there. Devil's Island, I think, is a little more private. You'd have to get someone to take you there and pick you up, and
Yeah, you have to get permission to go onto that one, I think.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
But
was
it would
talking to
make
somebody
sense,
about it. Yeah, they said
Or
it's
just
easy to
get
get onto.
Or just get a canoe at 3:00 in the morning.
I really want to go to Sambro Island, and I live in Herring Cove, so it's really close. Haven't found anyone to take me yet. So if
Okay.
anyone watches this that wants to take me there, I've heard lots of ghost stories.
Okay.
What's that one, Jason, we're trying to get to? You can get over there on a boat on Sunday for mass or something. What's that one? It's over towards Gabroos.
Scattery?
Yeah, Scattery.
They
Were
have
we trying to get on
mass
Scattery?
Yeah,
Isn't there a
of course.
church on there? Yeah, there's a church, right?
We can get on Scattery. I know like 15 fishermen.
Yeah,
We just gotta get the time.
there's a church or something on there where they have, it's not every month, but maybe just once a month. Where they have like a
Well,
service or something.
People
Yeah.
camp there all the time. I know one of my buddies is a fisherman, and he said they go out, whole crew of them every summer. There's like 15 of them, and they go out and camp and party, and they said it's awesome. I'd love to go out there too. But we can get out there pretty much when we just need to get the time.
Is that one supposed to be haunted too?
Shipwrecks galore.
Yeah.
Died on the island. I'm sure there's more than that, but just off the top of my head, real quick.
I mean, pretty much everywhere is said to be haunted. You don't have to look too far. We have
That's
so
right.
much
No.
history here. That's amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of people
Well,
don't
that's
know about it.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
We always say that to our friends from like BC and Alberta and places like that do paranormal investigating, and we tell them they don't have it. They don't have it half as lucky as we do here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
There's
someone
so
actually
much
commented-
history here.
yeah. Someone commented on my TikTok and they said, I live in BC and we don't have anything like this.
Nope.
And I was thinking
They
like
got
you would
nothing.
think they would have more just because it's, a bigger area. But honestly, there's so much here in such a small space.
Oh
We have
yeah.
all the old folklore too, right? Like all the old folk tales and stuff. They all came from here too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming over in the boat from the Irish and the Scottish. They brought all that stuff with them, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just built from there. So
Yeah.
how was Salem?
Salem's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I have to go to Salem.
I
Me
feel
too.
like that's like the first place I want to go to when we can travel again.
Yeah.
First of all, because I'm obsessed with Halloween and it's just so Halloween oriented, and then I'm so obsessed with witches. So it's like a combination of the two. Throw in the history. I mean, there's like no better place on earth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can drive there. You don't have
Exactly.
to fly in. and
Yeah,
all that
like
sort of stuff,
it's-
right?
It's not even that
all
far,
times
is it?
I've driven we've driven and we've stayed in Airbnb, so it's not even that expensive. It gets really busy. I've always gone the first weekend in October. I'm not huge on like big crowds, so closer to Halloween it gets crazier and crazier. It's still pretty busy in October, but yeah,
Cool.
it's amazing. Yeah.
So what other bucket list locations do you have? All around the world. Doesn't have to be Nova Scotia or Canada.
Are we talking like dream big?
You've been to
like
you've
the
been to
places?
Salem. You've been
Okay.
to Salem.
Yeah. So I have two that I would probably never get to, but let's just talk about them. Chernobyl,
Oh my God. Are we the same person?
probably. Yeah.
I would love to go
like,
there.
I just want to go there. That would be you're a photographer. Like that would be a dream to photograph.
Mhm.
And I feel like by the time now they're starting to do tours, by the time I would ever get to go there, it would probably be, not as, I don't know the word, like not as run down. They're not
Yeah.
going to fix it, but it's going to be trampled. It's going
Yeah.
to be. But yeah, that would be just amazing to see. And then have you guys heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my
I-
favorites. Love
Oh my God. See, like if I could go anywhere in the world, I always want to go there. I just want to see where that happened. Like I'm not much of a hiker or like an outdoor person, but
I'm not going.
just
I-
to see.
it. Ashley, you go and do a video and I'll just wait and watch it. Because I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not going to Russia
like,
for anything.
Yeah. Like out of all the conspiracy theories like that I, listened to and have heard, like that is my favorite. And I don't believe for a second that was an avalanche.
Yeah.
And I just want to go there so bad. So
There's a lot of really cool conspiracies and different stories.
yeah.
Podcasts I listen to, they actually explain it perfectly. I can't remember what
Yeah.
it was. And it actually, after I listened to it, I'm like, that's kind of the best case scenario of what actually happened.
And what did they think it was?
Well, they think it wasn't Bigfoot. It wasn't anything like that. They think it was actually due to the avalanche, which trapped them. And it like, I'll have to find the podcast and send it to you.
Yeah, I think it has to do with like a government conspiracy, because how do you explain like the levels of like whatever they had? I forget now. They had so much. What's like the bad thing in your body when like they test for stuff?
Radiation?
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Yeah. So like they had so much radiation in their body, and like they had eyes missing and like a tongue missing, like just crazy things. Like I can understand if it was an avalanche and they had hypothermia and like they took their clothes off, but some of the things just don't add up.
They said some of them were like trapped in the water, and they said, if you're in the water that long, that I guess fish and stuff would be eating your eyes and
stuff. That would make sense. Like, so I'm sure I would just like it to be spookier than it is, but
well, I like the Bigfoot theory.
Yeah, I don't think I heard the Bigfoot theory, but I don't know. I don't know about that. And
well, there's a famous picture they took, and you can see in the picture, I think you can see two of the hikers in the picture, and in the background by a tree, there's this big figure that's kind of poking out around the corner, and they said that.
And it's not like Photoshop, like they think it's like a real
photo?
No,
they think it could be Sasquatch. Some people said no, that's bullshit. It's just another hiker who's,
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
There's actually a really great horror movie based kind of like loosely based on that. It's called Devil's Pass. It's one of my favorites. It's like I watched, I think it was on Netflix, and I was so scared they were going to take it off that I ordered it on Blu-ray just so I could have it forever. It's like it has a good theory in it too. Yeah.
I'll watch it. I gotta watch that one.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
Awesome.
Bring it back, Chernobyl. You should watch the Vice documentary on Fukushima, the one in Japan. A photographer went in, and I don't know if he snuck away from the door or whatever, but he started taking pictures, and it's like Chernobyl would have happened like today. Like there's still bowls of fruit left on the table, and like kids' shoes by the door because they all got out so fast.
Yeah, and I guess
and then the government said the government said that there's no bodies around and stuff, but this photographer got out of the car and he walked up this little stretch of dirt between two things of water, and there was bodies still half in the sand, like half in the ground, sticking up. And he was taking photos of those. No, he can't, or they can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like the new Chernobyl.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about the taxi drivers there?
Oh, where they say that they're picking up people that aren't really there.
The ghost passengers, and it's like multiple taxi drivers that have said it had happened, and like it was people that didn't know like where they were. They just wanted to go home, and then they get there, and there's no one in the passenger seat. Like
I was listening. Yeah, that was on a podcast too. I think it was on Weird Darkness.
Yeah.
And okay. There was a story about it. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where everything stems from. Like, I don't really know exactly what I believe, but I think everything stems from some kind of tragedy or disaster. There's just things that are left over from that, whether it just be energy or
residual energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like residual stuff.
100%. Yeah. I think that's what, any kind of thing like that, there's just things left over.
Yep. So what's your favorite horror movie? Or horror movie franchise?
You're gonna laugh so hard because you
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
You put this on the Facebook group, and you're like, "This movie sucks."
No!
The Visit.
The Visit? Oh, I hated it.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what though? It's funny. My buddy Darren messaged me right away after I posted my review, and he said, "Are you crazy?" He said, it's the best one because it could actually happen. He's like, that's a scenario that could really happen. He said, look at it that way, and then compare the movie. And I was like, no, I still hate it.
And I did not see, like it was comparable to, like the I See Dead People one, like, whatever that's called. It was comparable to that. Like the ending was just such a surprise. Like I saw it in the theater, and then I went back to see it in the theater again. Because I was like, I need to like devour that. Like it was so good. But I know
M. Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah, and some people hate him, and some people love him, and I love, like what's the Happening? Like people hate that movie.
Oh, I
Oh,
like
I
it.
hated
love
it.
that movie.
No, my wife and I both
Yeah.
like that. I bought it on DVD.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I will never forgive what's his name, Marky Mark, because he said that was like the one movie he regretted out of his whole career. And I'm like, you were fantastic, and that was a great movie. Like, go away.
He's
I
yeah.
liked Signs. Signs was good.
Signs was
Signs
awesome.
is
I mean,
awesome.
lots of holes in the plot, but it was good.
No, it was
Still
that was
good.
that was probably
was
his
so
best
good.
movie. That was probably his best movie.
Yeah. And the
And,
acting was
My
amazing.
guilty
too.
pleasure on his movies too is I always watch that Lady in the Water one. If it's
I
on
did
or on
too.
something, I always watch it. I don't know why. It's like a guilty
I
pleasure.
like
I'll
that.
watch it
I
because
own that one
it's
too, because I
interesting.
was like, they can't take it away from me. Like, I just buy the ones that I'm scared are going to go like offline, you know, because they're not that popular. So I bought that one too. I do. It's
Yeah.
just like a comfort movie.
The one for us is The Fog. The original John Carpenter one in like 79, but the remake,
Yeah.
my wife and I might be only 2 people in maybe the world that actually like it. And I bought that one on DVD too.
Is it like the
James,
like
I
where
think
they're
James
in the
Marsden's in it.
store? They're in the store, like trying to get out of the store to go out into the car and whatever.
That's
and like
the
at
mist. That's the mist.
oh, that's the mess. Okay.
The
I
fog.
was
The
like,
fog is like
yeah.
it's them. Wait now. The lepers and the people in
Oh.
they're celebrating. They're doing this big celebration, but in actuality, they killed all these lepers. They put them in a boat and like lit the boat on fire.
Oh, wow. I don't know that I've
And
seen that. I'll have to look that one up.
James Marsden's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
I liked it, but
And I
most
might have
people
seen it
didn't.
and just forget. Like, you know, you watch so many movies and they all run into one another.
Yeah,
Yeah. What would your guys' favorite horror movie be? Would your favorite be The Fog, or that's just one that you like for a comfort
one that I
movie?
like. Darkness Falls is
That was good.
that's one of my favorites. I don't know.
That's on here too.
I can't pinpoint an actual favorite, but I love Darkness Falls.
Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite. I don't know if it's much of a horror movie, but I love Constantine. I thought that movie was incredible.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I love the religious horror movie types.
That
You know what I mean?
because there's nothing scarier.
I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all, but I like the idea
Neither am I.
of,
Yeah.
you know, the
That's
whole,
cool.
Yeah.
you know, God
Saint
versus
Michael
the
and-
devil,
Yeah,
demons, that sort of stuff. I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So,
What do you guys think is like the scariest movie you've seen?
the one that messed me up the most in the last few years, and I don't know why, was the Blair Witch.
I love
original
Blair.
The
That-
old one
yeah.
or the new one?
Yeah, the old one.
Oh,
The old one is like
I watched it, and then I had to host it for my aunt, and my aunt lives in Myra, so it's just her house, and then nothing but woods. Right after I watched that movie, I had to do that, and I couldn't sleep that whole night. I was like, the Blair
even
Witch is going.
even the second Blair Witch movie is really good and still scary. Yeah.
But that one messed me up the most, I would say, in the
Yeah.
last however many years was. The rest of them I just find fluff. I don't get scared from a lot of the
Yeah.
horror movies now.
I'd have
Like,
to
I
say
just don't.
the Descent.
I love that one.
Scared
Is
the
so
ever-living
scary,
shit
those
out of me.
little creatures. Oh my god, yeah.
I'm
And that one
extremely
makes you
claustrophobic.
claustrophobic too. I was just gonna say, it makes you
Yeah.
claustrophobic. It makes you feel
That-
like you're there.
That was more
Yeah.
scary than those weird little demons that lived in the. I would much rather
Yeah.
demons than the claustrophobia. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That one scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Which movie to you had the better ending, The Sixth Sense or the others? Which was the more twist, in your opinion?
The Sixth Sense or the others?
Yeah.
I think The Sixth Sense, because it was just so unexpected. Like the others, I didn't think that they were dead, but I was not as surprised that they were dead because
Yeah.
it was, you know, set back in the creepy time, and it was just you're expecting ghosts. But The Sixth Sense, that was just such a shock.
It started it all, really. The big shock.
It did start it all, yeah, and it was so shocking, yeah. And it was just the acting was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
one that just popped in my head. Sorry, real quick.
No, go ahead.
Stephen King's Rose Red. I love that movie. It's from
Oh,
93 or 94. It's an older one.
yeah,
But it's good.
yeah. I can't remember that one. I love anything Stephen King now.
Oh yeah, all
Um,
his movies are awesome.
My number one horror movie that like traumatized me and that I still like have like a hard time sleeping, like if I think about it too long, is The Fourth Kind. The alien.
Oh my
one.
god, the alien one. My son, he's 25 years old, and he still wakes up sweating some nights. because of
It's
that movie.
terrifying, and that was kind of the one too, like where there was rumors that it was like true, that it wasn't a movie. And so when you're watching it, like the acting was just so good that you really thought you were watching like a documentary.
Mhm.
And it was just like that, like probably is one of my fears too, like, you know, getting taken.
He doesn't live here anymore, but
Yeah.
he actually brought it up the other day when he was here. He's like, remember that movie I used to watch when I was a kid? And he said the name but stuff, and he still says it's still the scariest movie he's ever seen.
There's nothing for me that's comparable to how scary I was when I was watching that, to how scary it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question I'll ask you is, I always ask everybody this one, is what do you think we're talking to when we do EVP sessions and ghosts and stuff? Do you think it's people who didn't cross over, they're trapped here, they're living their lives, their regular residual lives, or do you think it's a multiverse thing and you're there's a thin veil between our universe and the other multiverse and you're talking to someone from there? Do you think, like, just what's your opinion on what ghosts are?
I personally don't think that it's either. I think the multiverse, like I enjoy that theory, and like I would like that to be true. I just don't know. I think more it's just that something traumatic happened and there's something stuck, like a fragment of time is just stuck there. I don't know, like, you know, like someone could have been saying something at that time when they died, or, you know, near their death, and then you're there asking that question, and that's been, you know, repeating over and over and over again, like it's just stuck there. Because you don't really hear like ghost stories from, you know, a happy ending, right? It's something like tragic and sad that happened, and I just think I don't really know the word for it. I just think that there's something stuck there. I don't necessarily think it's like a person. Like, I don't believe in like the afterlife. I don't think people need help crossing over. But I think things could just be left behind, if we can say that.
Just, it's like playing in a loop. It's
playing. I think it's like a loop of just emotion, like in, like, you know, like you go to these places and like you can feel things that have happened. You can just feel it's a heavy feeling. So I feel like, sure, you could hear something that someone said at that time, or, you know, feel what they were feeling at that time.
So that's residual energy, yeah. So you believe mostly in the residual part of it, yeah. But there is, we have both. Like, we've had residual EVPs that I think are residual, but we've also had like intelligent responses and intelligent, like, you know, if you're tapped on the shoulder, or if you're, you know what I mean? So like, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's really hard to say.
It's hard to say. There's no
one minute, guys. We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute left. Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll end it there. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This was great to meet you guys, like online, I guess. Hopefully,
you definitely have to come to Cape Breton. Will you do this for us again in a few months?
Oh, for sure.
Have you back on after you do a whole bunch more TikToks, and we can pick your brain on all the spots you've been to? Because you go to way more cool spots than we do.
Yeah. I counted them, and it was like 40 in like the last 5 months. It was insane, but I can't stop. So
cool. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
We'll talk to you again.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.